Hello friends, welcome to EduTap. In this session, we are going to talk about the 15 most important topics in the economics that might be asked in the ICAR AO Administrative Officer post that is to be conducted on October 3rd. And economics is completely asked in the Tier 1 phase of the examination. So now let's move ahead. So before starting with the theme of the session, let me introduce how is EduTap helping you in your preparation. It has come up with the two packages. One is the gold package, the other one is the silver package. So in gold package, you will get access to the complete portion, that complete syllabus that is asked in the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 phase of the examination. In the silver package, you will be provided access to Tier 1 phase of the examination. So you can use this early 15 coupon code to avail 15% discount on the package, and also 5-day free starter course is available, for which the link is provided in the description below. So now let's start with the theme of the session, that is the 15 most important topics in the economics. Economics syllabus is very vaguely defined in the notification of the ICAR AO syllabus. So we have decoded it in the decoded the economics topic into 15 most important topics. So now let's get started with the first topic, that is the growth and development. So you have to understand this is the most basic topic that one begins his economic journey with. So growth, what is growth? The important indicators of growth are like GDP, which stands for gross domestic product, gross national product, and the per capita income. You have to be aware with these topics in order to get a better understanding of the economics. And also when you go through the newspaper, these are very frequently used terms. So having an understanding of these topics will help you prepare in a more effective manner. So, and there are similarly different indicators of development, like what is HDI, Human Development Index. So these are the kind of questions that are asked in the examination, seen through the empirical data from different examinations held earlier. So what are the different components of HDI, who releases this index, what is India's ranking in HDI index. So these are the kind of questions you have to focus on, or even while reading, these are the specific pointers to which your attention should tilt towards. And there is another indicator of development, that is multidimensional poverty index. So there are 10 different indicators used. What are those 10 indicators? You need not go into such greater details, but have an understanding of those indicators. And what is the life expectancy, infant mortality rate, etc. These are the different indicators of the development. So you have to have a basic understanding of these topics in order to understand the economics in a holistic manner. So now coming to the most important topic, and when I say this is the most, why do I say so? Because this is a topic that has been asked in the previous many examination question papers, and apart from that, this is a very this is an issue where one can the examiner can test your understanding, how well you are adept with the economic terms and its understanding. So monetary policy committee, it comes up with the monetary policy in every bi-monthly meeting, so where it will announce the rates of the CRR, SLR, repo rate. So you have to understand what is CRR, that is cash reserve ratio. This is one of the most influential tools of the monetary policy. So first of all, what happens through monetary policy is, if the economy is going through a slowdown, then the RBI or the monetary policy committee will infuse a lot of money in the economy to enhance its growth, and this will pump the economy and thereby also inducing a small inflation. So how does this monetary policy committee perform this function? Using the various tools. And what are those tools? That you will be understanding once you read these tools in greater depth. So, and this is where the questions will be asked. So you have to be aware with these terms in a lucid manner. So now let's move with the next topic. So the one more most important topic is fiscal policy. So fiscal policy is a policy that is that a government usually comes with, and monetary policy is the decided by the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee. So taxation is a major source of revenue for the government. What are the different types of tax, like corporate tax, income tax, and excise tax. So you have to have an understanding of these kind of different types of taxes, which the examiner usually asks what is the major source of revenue. Is it the corporate tax or the income tax? So once you go through these different terms and understand them, you will have a better idea. And welfare measures, that is you could see in the last lockdown, government came up with many multiple schemes like Garib Kalyan Yojana and the famous scheme of MG Narega. These are all provided by the government through various subsidies. So you have to have an understanding of the different schemes and its component to answer the questions. Now, the government budget is another major topic where the questions are usually asked. So you have to go through the government budget, recent budget, and what are the new schemes. So also you can learn this way. There is usually a chart provided where it is shown what is the major source of revenue for the government. That is, in the recent budget it was GST, then comes the corporate tax, then comes the income tax, and where does the major government expenses go? Again, through the pie chart, if you go through the explanation of the budget in the PIB website, you'll get to understand this and answer the questions in an effective manner. So inflation. Inflation is a very tricky and a most important topic when it comes to economics. So you have to understand what is inflation and the different types of inflation, such as demand pull inflation, the cost push inflation that the India is experiencing from past decade. So quite a time. So what are the different measures of inflation, like consumer price index, wholesale price index, producer price index? You have to understand what are its component, who releases this index. So these are the kind of questions that the examiner will test you on. And the important terms related to inflation, they are disinflation, like inflation, the opposite of inflation is deflation, and disinflation, stagflation. These are all quite tricky terms, but if you have a thorough understanding of those terms, you will be able to answer the questions without any confusion. You also have to focus on the accuracy aspect when it comes to the objective part of the question paper. Balance of payment is a crucial link in the when it comes to understanding economy, because through that you will get an idea of how India deals with the rest of the world. So what are its different components, like current account, capital account, forex reserve, and within current account again we have three components like export and import of the goods, export and import of the services, and transfer payments. So the examiner will ask you, does the transfer payment fall in current account or the capital account? So you have to understand these components in an effective manner. And in the same way, there are again different components of capital account, such as FDI, foreign direct investment, FII, and what is FDI and all that. And net external debt assistance, NRI investments. So you have to have a complete in-depth understanding of this topic. This is a very crucial link, and this area is most of the times asked in the examination. And forex reserve, India is in just few months ago, India was at an all-time high forex reserves. So what does that forex reserves is put to use? So you have to have an understanding. So you go through the balance of payment in a greater details. So planning in India. When India attained independence in 1947, India was a colonial country and British was the empire. So due to lack of resources, India had to go for a planning in an effective manner. So only through planning we can effectively use our resources. So what are the different type of questions that can be asked in this portion is like what is Harrod-Domer model, or in which 5-year plan was it implemented? Like that was implemented in the first 5-year plan. And there is a Mahalanobis strategy where it says that the government should invest most of the resources towards building capital infrastructure. So this was a Mahalanobis strategy. You will get to understand it in greater detail. But the question that can be asked is, in which 5-year plan was it deployed? That was deployed in second 5-year plan. So these are the different kind of questions you have to get an idea of. And one of the most monumental 5-year plan is 7th 5-year plan. You have to go through the different schemes that have been introduced in the 7th 5-year plan and various other 5-year plans. LPG reforms is a watershed moment in the Indian economic history. So you have to get an idea of what exactly happened. There were different kind of reforms like industrial reforms, financial reforms. So once you get an idea of these reforms that have been taken place, you will be able to answer the questions. And that is one most important topic. And the latest reforms like GST and the agricultural reforms, again they are compared as watershed in the agricultural history post-independence. So that becomes another important area. So now talking about another topic, that is poverty and employment. So once India attained independence, India was a poor country. But how do you measure poverty? So the Planning Commission had constituted various committees to measure poverty, like Dandekar and Rath Committee, and the famous Tendulkar Committee, and the Rangarajan Committee. So you have to know these committees and what are the different measures, and these are the kind of questions that are usually asked in the examination. So you have to understand the different committees related to the poverty and the basic understanding of what is poverty gap and different measures of BPL as announced by these different committees. So these are the kind of questions that will be tested. That the candidates will be tested in the examination. And poverty and unemployment are very closely related topics. Again, you have to have an understanding of what are the different types of unemployment, like structural unemployment, frictional unemployment. So these are the kind of unemployments you have to have an understanding of. And though India has been experiencing growth in the past 2 decades, it has been going through a very unique phase known as jobless growth. So India has mostly been going through the capital intensive led growth. So you will get an idea of what is the what are the causes of high unemployment and amidst this pandemic. So unemployment becomes a very crucial area for the examination topic, for the examination. And now moving on to the last topic, that is important institutions. So you have to know what are the different institutions, like IMF stands for International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and what are its functions. The questions will usually be asked on what are the different indices that are released by these institutions. And WTO, World Trade Organization, is a very important topic when it comes to the economic discussions, because and its important agreement, like the agreement on agriculture that was signed in 1995, and the TRIPS agreement. So these are the different agreements of WTO, and there are various terms like green box, blue box. So these are the kind of questions that you will be asked in the examination. So go through these topics in quite detail. So that was all about the economic session and the 15 most important topics. I hope you got an idea. And if you have any query, feel free to call us at this number or drop a mail at hello@edutap.co.in. Now, thank you.